what remains of Edith Finch, where it's just going to, like, throw us into wherever we were at the end of the last episode. Was it the graveyard, or... No, that's not right. It was... Oh, I thought those rides. That was horrifying. Right, it was the tower. Milton's tower. That was that not, like, placed in the freakiest place possible? It looked like a face. There was lights down there. Anyway, we did the last one with figuring out Milton disappeared, right? So we're heading to... we're going to be finding... It's getting really important in these last few anyway. It's Lewis, Dawn, and Edie. Dawn is Edith's mother. Edie was Edith's great-grandma, I guess, with whom she had some special rapport, and who was kind of like the progenitor of all the weird stuff in this house. And Lewis, her brother, who died the same year as Edie. So it's all about to get very, very important. I don't know where we're going next. I guess we want to use the ladder, the rope thing to go back down.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Only months? Sounds actually like less time than I would have expected from someone as... pedantic is maybe the wrong word, but as anxious, I guess, as her. Well, and you said earlier that she never really gave up hope that he might be back through the window, I suppose.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Whatever Milton had found? I don't like the sound of that. Was this here before? As in he found something dangerous and died somewhere in the house? Is that what we're saying? Oh, I also don't remember these stairs being here before. But away we go.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
I see. Was Lewis always talking about the curse or something? Or trying to goad Milton into going places? Or was it just that
Everyone
typical...
always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis.
Self-blame that accompanies grief. We can pop in through the top of... Oh my god, what is it, like a boat? It was a boat! The room was a boat! Is that Edie's room at the top, do you reckon? And even though we went to Dawn's room, we didn't actually get how she died. Wait, did I miss it? In her room, maybe? Somewhere? Probably not. Because again, it's 2016, so presumably that was after everyone left. Oh, these stairs just go nowhere. Cool, got it! I wonder how Edith's kid is going to handle the curse. Maybe in going back to Orcas Island at all, it's not a good idea. But not because I believe in the curse as much as I believe in the possibility that you overly bemoan it or whatever. Like you invest too much of yourself into how things happened.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Weed? Was it weed? Okay, it was probably weed. Got a drunken SNES controller here. Bottle opener. Right, Lewis was a bit of a partier then. Or maybe just like, pretty horribly depressed. Orcas Island Regional High School diploma. Nice. Well done, Lewis.
Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Well, you should play a game where you can't die, like What Remains of Edith Finch, or Animal Crossing. The only two games in which you cannot die. I mean, you die a lot inside when you play Animal Crossing, I guess there's that. And actually, I don't know that I guess we've died several times in this game, technically. Letter to their mom. Somewhere in here there's a letter, I'm sure of it. It's got a fish. God, why do they have to fold it so small? There we go, found it.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Oh no! Wait, did he? Oh, and then right-click to drop it away.
At the cannery.
Did he cut his own hand off at some point here?
But he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
It won't let me... Oh, that was weird. It won't let me grab that. His mind began to... Huh? What did his mind begin to... Oh! Because he spent all the time playing video games, he imagined video game. Yes, video game. Oh, I have a bad feeling he's about to cut his hand off. I really don't like this. I'm going to very, very gently move the mouse to the right.
He said he started small. Imagining a labyrinth.
Oh, I'm so not good at multitasking.
He'd feel his way about.
This freaks me out.
Then something moved. Bats.
Eek.
And toads.
Really try not to lose any digits here. Oh, water is no cross. Got it. Throw it. Throw the fish. Throw the fish. Thank you. I guess I have to hold. Oh, no, maybe I don't right click. Maybe I just hold up. Oh, sorry. That's it. Right, got it. Okay, that was the wrong place to be. Up is where we want to be. No, that's not anything. Sorry. Oh, multitasking is so not my jam. You'd think I would have not been a YouTuber, considering I'm not good at multitasking, but I think it's like I have an upper limit for the number of actions I can do at once. Talking and playing a game? Sure. Talking and playing 2 games? No. Wait, hang on. They said feeling myself my way around. Not feeling myself. But I didn't seem to be able to go ahead here. This feels like a really bad way to process fish heads. Oh, there's a gap in it here. I see it. I missed that because of all the fishing I was doing.
And things that have
fish
no
processing,
names.
not fishing. Things that have no names. Ooh, it got colorful
He
as
knew
well.
it was all in his head.
Trying really hard not to cut my hand off. Oh, that was
He took
weird.
it very seriously.
Ugh.
I had hoped he'd find himself.
But all he found was 8 special collectible crystals from World 7. Throw the fish! Throw the damn fish! Throw the fish, Lewis! Throw it! Throw it! I'm pulling up as far as it'll go.
But he found something more.
He's distracted, I guess. A bonfire with which he could replenish his Estus
I worried
flasks.
about him then,
There we go.
daydreaming at the cannery.
Yeah, right beside the
I
fish
spoke with his
guillotine.
boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Huh. That's something Lewis and I do not have in common, then.
Like a whole new Lewis.
He just found a way
So
to
I let
entertain
him go
himself.
on.
I feel like maybe I get the urge to let him do something that makes him
I
happy
even
and
encouraged.
content, but maybe not when he's right beside the
It
fish
seemed very
guillotine.
promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
Oh, a dog, nice. Very carefully throwing the fish through the murder
On the edge of a city
line.
he named Lewis Topia.
Oh, nice. Oh, the way the
He
fish
built the
did
city
that.
up slowly, brick by brick.
Put the drawbridge down.
Then
Oh,
he made
this-
musicians.
It's incredibly imaginative. Aphantasians, eat your heart out. That's me, by the way. Those
And
musicians.
songs for them to play.
And dancers next, I assume. All kinds of things to keep his mind utterly
He
distracted.
talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
That's a little eerie, actually.
Every day his imagination grew stronger.
Well, I suppose surgeons are much the same way, aren't they? Oftentimes they'll like hum or listen to music
He
and
no
stuff.
longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever.
Are we sure this all wasn't just the side effects
Then one
of
day it struck him
overexposure to THC?
that all the cheering crowds,
We're fake?
even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished.
I see. Oh, so this wasn't intentional before this point? Is that what you're telling me?
He held
That
an
is
election
worrisome.
for mayor,
It won.
and he won.
And being mayor gives you
They
a crown,
begged
of
him to
course.
stay, but his mind was already wandering.
He had to sail away. And very cautiously.
It
cut
became
towards
a
the
game
fish.
for him.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow, it's just taking over more of the thing. Oh, wow, this is cool. Wait, no, we should turn
Conquer
around
a
and try
city,
the other
then
way.
immediately push on.
Never mind. It wants me to go forward. I was gonna try and go backwards along
New
the path.
Louisville.
It's like a Civ game, except much easier. I've never played one, but
St. Louis.
I'm fairly confident. St. Louis. I'm fairly confident I would not do as
He
well
started
as he's
drifting
doing.
away from our reality.
Oh, it's cool how it's just like such a small part of the screen that's the real life now. The rest is
Minneapolis.
just fantasy.
Until one
Yeah.
day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Oh, just can't.
Even
chop
as
and
his
fish.
mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Oh my. Because now he's got an association with the cannery as being the place where he gets to go to this dream world. That's really troubling.
In Lewisburg, he heard
Sorry,
rumors
Dom.
of a
Beautiful prince.
Beautiful prince.
And so I figured I had to kill this guy. Nobody gets to be more beautiful than me. I'm sure that's where Lewis's mind went. With all the fish murder he's doing. Well, they're already dead.
The prince was on his own quest for...
Oh, radiant rainbows, of course.
Radiant rainbows.
Let's go left every single time. Yay! I found one! We can go home now. Oh, we don't need to go for that one. Once was enough for me. No. More than once is bad luck. Oh, bugger.
He followed the sound of his...
Never mind, I take it back. Silver harp sounds badass. Oh, I'm so not looking forward to this man losing his whole hand. Wow. This is so cool. I have no more to say
his
about
chase led him to a
that.
golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon.
Is this where aforementioned beautiful prince is?
Even then, his logic remained
Oh
sound.
god, now it's everything is... Oh boy. I can't see the real world anymore. Oh no, I don't like that.
He knew the world was all in his imagination.
Oh boy. The fish are piling up. Well, there's the prince, I think. Hello, I've come to treat with you. I have a pretty harp. I can play it.
But
No,
he was
wait,
so
come back.
proud of having created it.
I'm gonna cut this one before the thing will open. Just cut it very carefully. Oh god.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king.
Well, yeah, a co-prince, I guess. Or are you gonna say he thought he became a god?
For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming.
Well, you got a high school diploma. That's some measure of success. Not everyone gets
And then it
that.
struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh dear. Did he take his own life in an attempt to get closer to this world or something? Well, I thought just go to dark places in this game, because
My
past history
imagination
would
is as
indicate
real
that's
as
a
my
good
body,
idea.
he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
You probably should have tried, though. Oh, his hand just disappears now. Oh. Oh. What did we do next, then, Lewis? That was a fairly cool flashback sequence. The whole thing, so far. I guess this will be his. It's another game of some kind, some psychedelic patterns. Am I supposed to peer into the psychedelic pattern? Peer into the psychedelic pattern! Where's my zoom button? It's no longer
Began to forget
Exit,
the
I guess.
world we know.
Everything else would start to turn into the game world as well, his imagination world.
I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Oh god, is this Lewis over here and I'm gonna like shove myself into the machine? What the hell is... What kind of cannery
He
is
began to
this?
despise the man with a royal contempt.
Finch. I see. Later,
I still thought I could
suckers!
save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Yes, thank you. I am the conqueror of St. Louis, Minneapolis, and Louisville, or whatever the other one was. I took them all fair and square with my civilization skills that I got honed from definitely not losing to my sister Edith
Including
in
the
games
wise
for years.
Calico who'd insisted on advising him.
Calico, as in cat? It's always got to be some animal connection, doesn't there? I mean, in addition to the fact that he was cutting fish, I guess. It's fascinating. Or does Calico mean something else before it was the name of kind of cat, maybe? It's not a word I'm familiar with, I'm afraid. Look at this one with the symbols.
His
They're my new
prince
idol.
waited, holding his crown.
Well, that would be cool if I got a crown at the end of all this, instead of having to imagine one.
There was only
Okay, I know
one
it's an
thing left
imaginary
to
crown.
do.
Yes. Excise the real cannery, Lewis? Is that where this is going?
Bend down his head.
Oh no! I don't. Hey, look! Hey, look! Oh god! Did he put his head in the cannery Okay, wait, we can postpone our rendezvous for a little longer, actually. Sorry, I got a call from me. I'm not ready to be prince just yet with you. This doesn't seem wise. Guys, hey, look, you and I are gonna be married, I think. So I think you owe it to me to tear this guillotine down before I'm crowned. Do you really want to crown my beheaded head? This is a bad idea. Everyone's watching. Oh, okay. Somehow I don't think Alduin's gonna bust me out of this one. Okay. Oh, I got like tingles in the back of my neck doing this. This does not feel right.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Sincere condolences, Dr. Emily Newth. That's why I take it we're meant to imagine he
My
did
brother
that in
was
the
really
cannery.
cool. I wish you could have met him.
And he was only 22 when that happened. Ouch. Scheming. Good, because I wanted to save that. Greater Seattle Institute of Psychology, 1957 Shep Boulevard, Seattle, Washington. I heard it was Washington, and not, in fact, California. Wow, that was unsettling, but very cool as well, but also very miserable. Anyway, video games are good for people, and let's not discuss it any further. On we go! So it's Edie and Donna remain. They're two of the most significant characters in this story, so I think these are going to be pretty important devices.
My mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
And Edie died that same year somehow. He said, waited till the day before we left to tell Edie. Oh, to tell Edie that we were leaving, I guess. Right, okay. Because I was like, didn't Edie paint that
I'm
stump
not sure
thing?
if she wanted to make it easier or harder.
For like a week before that? I guess it would have been possible to not know Lewis was dead.
I wish we'd stayed.
I guess so I assumed they were saying Dawn didn't tell her that they were leaving rather than Dawn didn't tell her that Lewis was dead, because that would be hard to miss if they were all living in the same house, I suppose. And these are missing Milton papers. This is probably Dawn's personal room.
But I understand why we left.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, there's too many bad memories associated with the place. And it's a history of dragging history with it. The fact that it literally is in view of the house where the first guy drowned. Everyone else's bedrooms are still there, preserved the moment they died. Finch kitchen. So we were not done packing up when we left. Edith, Mom, including the book she wrote. Several copies of it. I thought it was the Twilight cover for a minute there with the apple. But no, very different kind of apple. Well, sort of, anyway.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Departing or Edith's death? Probably departing. I don't think
But it
anyone
had
would
to
say Edith
end
should have
one way
died
or
sooner.
another.
Here's Edith's
All that's
room.
left now was to tell you about that last night.
Oh, interesting. Did I miss Dawn somehow in the other room? I didn't think this would be the sort of thing where I could miss, but I think there's a small chance I missed Dawn's. No, but she died in 2016 outside the house. There wouldn't be one of those plaques for her here. Wow, Edith had a tiny room. I guess, how old was she when she died? 93, right? Seems like it would be a hard place to navigate at 93. Edith. There's a feather. It's a quill, actually. So we're gonna write the next bit of the journal. Do I want my kid to hear about this? I mean, Edie died in a horrible way. Do we really have to? No, I probably should tell them about. No, well, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. No, I must. Well, but then again, do we want to carry on the curse any further with? Oh, let's crack up in the journal and write a few pages.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word.
It sounds
Until
like
supper, when she raised her glass and said,
it would be hard for her to leave.
To our final night together, and all our final nights apart.
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left
Oh,
a
boy.
present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
It's bad when you hear that. Oh, am I remembering this from Edith's perspective now?
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom
No
was in
kidding,
the
they were all
library,
over
I
her
don't
grave.
think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
I just checked the things to make sure they were oiled well properly, as always, and then left and did nothing else, which was suspicious that night. Even when I was wee, I had all these arm warmers on. I actually kind of like this one more. It's more colorful. More than her present-day one. What were they saying about people being buried in
What
the...
you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Well, there's something to be said about both perspectives. I don't think the problem's going to leave just because you leave the house, but I don't think necessarily that it's just like psychologically it's good for everyone to force themselves to stay at the house. The History of the Finches by Edith Finch. That book sounds intense. Maybe we'll read something like Spot Goes to the Zoo first. Actually, that would be pretty intense as well, wouldn't it? Because it'd be about like a small animal going to the zoo and seeing the other captured animals. I take it back. This one sounds much more pleasant in that light. Spot Goes to the Zoo can wait. But then Spot Goes to the Zoo. I mean, that one's the rhetoric in that one's amazing. And Spot's so cute. But I probably should. Reading is so hard, though. Okay, let's do this.
There's so many stories I wish I could tell.
There are so many stories.
There's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you
There's only time for one. So she wrote this recently.
That night, the tide went way, way out.
Oh, interesting.
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
You didn't give birth in the, like, waterlogged old house, did you?
Out in the middle of the ocean.
It's not a very sanitary place.
They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful.
I think said God had smelled
I've
awful.
seen that house every day of my life.
This is creepy. This is like some Lovecraftian horror we're about to experience
I
here.
never thought I'd go back to it. When
I
the
see.
fog rolled in, I lost my way.
I'm just gonna keep holding W. It's cool though that Edith went to the same place while pregnant. Like she was also on that beach.
Turned around.
No turning around. This is forward. I just kept going forward. So we just navigate. We're just around this rock. Casually just around this rock and forward.
For a while, I wondered.
Sorry, wait. This
I
is
started seeing things.
This is the story of when she was pregnant with Dawn. Did she say? I was not paying attention to who she said she was pregnant with. But she addressed it to Edith,
Things I'd
right?
forgotten had ever existed.
You didn't watch that back. Editing.
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night,
Eerie.
a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them.
Like whatever you got ill with in 1930. I was trying to make a joke with it. I accidentally did it the right way.
Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go.
Oh, am I supposed to...
I kept on
Sorry.
Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
I see. It's interesting. The house looks like
The
full.
next morning, the van came to pick her
It
up.
wasn't all torn apart. It was like the old house
After that, we moved around a lot.
before it sank when she finally found it. Sweeney died the very same day, or like the night out. By the time
We both tried to make the best of
yeah,
it.
the paramedics got there the day after, as if like when the life left the
A
house,
few years went by.
she died as well.
My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly. She got better for a while,
Bring the mouse over to her.
and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive.
Not just yet.
Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this.
Go to the house, don't go to the house, you
if
decide.
we lived forever,
Bearing all this
maybe
in mind.
we'd have time to understand things.
Bearing in mind how well-oiled the
But as it
latches are.
is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Oh, so we're really like being born here.
This
wondering
journey
if
was
that was
supposed to
what
be
was
for you. But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now,
And that means the curse got to
things didn't
Edith
work
too.
out that way.
Sorry about it, Ma. God, I don't remember being born being this much effort requiring.
This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
So are they saying that Edith died in childbirth or just somehow? 27... Oh, no, okay, right, we're Edith's kid, but this is not 2017. That wouldn't make sense. Right, okay. It clicked with me that we were doing flowers for Edith, like the previous episode. A story by Giant Sparrow. Cool! That was very cool. For Shirley Dallas, 1948 to 2013. Oh, awesome. The game, not that it's made in memory of someone. That's sad, obviously. Well, sad and happy and all. Oh, they've got like child photographs of everyone on the team. That's cool. Wowzers! It's definitely one of those. Okay, the end of everything. Finish all story. It's good. Thanks. Cool. Cheers. It's definitely interesting that the tone of it is like at once very, and I think this is intentional, that it's once incredibly grim and incredibly uplifting. That's obviously part of the themes of the game as well, that's kind of how life is. This person's got a goofy hat. But yeah, there's a lot of creativity gone into it. I see why it was a popular choice at the time. I like that it kind of isn't, there's a mystery-esque theme to it, but it's not like mystery in the sense that it tries to pull the wool over your eyes. It's that it's mystery in the sense that, what are they playing, Pokemon Yellow? Mystery in the sense that it reveals itself to you gradually and organically, and not always by just straight up telling you what's going on. Sometimes it's like you can figure out what's going on by context clues before Edith says, I'm pregnant, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And it's just about how, like, cognizant you are of everything before that point. Thanks, Johan. See Johan's name in the ending credits. Oh, cool. I got another achievement. I'm so full of achievements today. The Finches. So yeah, the overall structure of that is very cool. To launch into my end game review, I don't know actually how many people worked on this game. I think it's supposed to be fairly indie, so I don't anticipate these credits being too long, but as always, I will let them play out. To launch into my in-game review, I usually go visuals, then music and sound design, then gameplay, then narrative. Of course, gameplay and narrative often are very linked in games, and in this case, very much so, are they? Wow, this is cool. We're going through like layers of the house's foundation. Visually, yeah, that's pretty great, I would say. I like that it's got a realistic style, but it's also biased. Everything's very colorful. The house is like, even just like the architecture is unreal in certain ways. And of course, in the flashbacks, everything's always like a little different. You had the barber's flashback, which was that sort of comic book style. There was the style of the flashback of Gregory in the bath was very much like there's lots of high bloom and like bright colors because it's very kiddie in that way. Let's see, visually, were there any others that were? Yeah, well, the Molly flashback was like there were a lot of like muted colors and it's very like grim and gruesome. Like visual fidelity, yeah. I mean, this game was what, 2016, 2017? I'm blanking now, but pretty decent for indie for that time, I would say, as well as the animation. It's pretty, like, in this sort of project with this scope, I would tend to imagine a lot more, like, weird clipping and stuff, but actually the first-person animations were, like, pretty high quality, and the physics all on like little weird physicsy objects. I never saw anything that made me go, oh, that looks really weird and wonky, and like it was emblematic that this was worked on by a very small team. This is cool to have pictures of all the designers and a whole bunch of playtesting. As soon as I say it, we get to the huge playtesting section that does not have all the voices. Oh, that's cool. It's based on it's the books being funded backwards. So that the ones that are backwards are the empty spaces. I saw Neil Druckmann's name in there. That's surprising to me. I would not have expected he would be a playtester on this. I guess Annapurna Interactive, well, Giant Sparrow's the designer, Annapurna is the publisher. I don't know really all of who, if the Giant Sparrow went on to do, so I think they did some other similarly like story made interactive type games like this. I'd say 2012 to 2017, so a 5-year development, which I get for this. Anyway, yeah, the visuals looked really nice. I liked them. My poor PAC couldn't keep up with it on 4K. I had to turn it 10 to 2K. Sorry about that. The music and sound design. Sound design was fairly benign, is not the word. Muted throughout most of it. It came when it was necessary and sort of got out of the way otherwise. I like that you could always sort of hear the house creaking and moving, as if like there was the echoes of life still rippling through it. I'm glad Edith didn't die at the house, though. It sounds like she died either in childbirth or shortly thereafter, which is not a happy thought, but at least it's like, you know, in a way it's poetically just because she got to send the last Finch off with like both sides of the story, not the remember everything and stay in this house forever of Edie, and not just the forget everything, try and move on from it without interfacing with any of it of Dawn. She got like both sides of them and got to present all that to the next Finch. But returning to, sorry, that just was a thought that just struck me all of a sudden looking at this whole family tree, is that Finch can presumably move on to have like a slightly more balanced view of it all and perhaps finally escape the curse, so called. Returning to music and sound, the music is really nice in this. It's a gentle touch. It's not like melodies that like blast out of nowhere and then like, are instantly recognizable. They all feel like appropriate to the character they're matching. And like not only the character, but like the mood of that character's flashback, because the flashbacks themselves are like little micro stories that have a very particular kind of aesthetic and feel. So because Walter's story is sort of strange and cut off from everything else, and then it's about him finally having hope on this last day, it all feels sort of very ethereal and dreamlike and uplifting, his music. And then of course Gregory's is all about this weird joy he feels, so it's that jovial classical music. Calvin is a very sudden like death is, and kind of out of nowhere, so the music is much more like climactic and stuff, so on and so forth. I think Walter's theme was probably my favorite of the whole game, but I'd have to listen to a bunch of them again because there are a bunch of them that kind of went by real fast the first time. But yeah, it's lovely. Gameplay wise and narrative, I guess I'll sort of talk about them all in one because they're kind of very bunched together in this. It's cool. It's definitely of the brand like of walking sim, like people will call it. But like I said before, I don't really mind that kind of game, especially if you pace it well. And I think this game was paced pretty well. Actually, the only part I really took issue with pacing was I thought the beginning was like just a little bit slow. I felt like we got through many more stories in episodes 2 to 4 than we did in episode 1 because they were kind of introducing the idea of the old house and everything. Was Molly the first one well, I guess we got Odin we had the slideshow before we did Molly's thing, probably. Did we? Can't remember. But yeah, the basic gameplay loop is you go around the house, tracing back like some last memories of each person and getting some insight into how Dawn and Edie were sort of managing the house in that time. Holy crap, I just realized that all of Edie's kids died before she did. That is grim. Anyway, I very much like the idea that each character gets their own flashback that is sort of done in a different style with a different objective and different overall theming to the whole thing. I thought that was really cool. Probably my 3 favorites were Molly's, Gregory's, and Lewis's. Molly's was a great one for early on in the game, to show you that, like, yeah, things are gonna get real weird. And not all of what you see here is literal. Of course, a lot of it is what's imagined to have happened, or it's sort of like a literary play on what the curse did exactly. Gregory's was like just fun and odd. Lewis's was just totally fascinating there. I was entranced and speechless for a large part of it. And I like the way, so nature plays a huge role in this game's narrative, obviously. The family is literally called the Finches, and everyone seems to have some kind of animal theming to their story. Let's see, I'm blanking on what would it be for Odin and Walter and Gus. Actually, I guess it's not absolutely everyone. It feels like it's like almost, there's lots of animal theming going on anyway. Molly was turning into all kinds of animals, and then she had all this whole cat theming, and then they called the cat Molly later. Barbara had the stuff with monsters, which I guess aren't animals. Sam gets killed by the deer in the end. Gregory's got the frog, Choi. Lewis was doing the stuff with cutting the fish. And the fact that the house, the first iteration of the house goes down to the ocean, and the rest of it is like on the cliff overlooking that first house, and is like covered on all sides by forest virtually. It's like they're trying to make a point that even though this curse is very unnatural, the idea of like bad luck and tragedy being so ubiquitous and something that you just kind of that is integrated with human nature in that way. It feels like they're trying to make a comment that this sort of tragedy and fleetingness of life is natural, even if the family's particular circumstances aren't. The fact that they're surrounded by nature on all sides, even though you can see the rest of Orcus Island in the distance, like inhabited. Yeah, the beginning was just a little bit slow, but I think there's also maybe partly because I wasn't understanding what the overall pace of the story was going to be past that point, that it was going to be kind of like, it's effectively an anthology of bad luck and tragedy threaded together with Edith going back, tracing these memories back, trying to figure out Dawn and Edie's sort of not figure out the relationship because that was sort of obvious to her beforehand, you'd imagine, but tracing their conflict throughout the whole thing. And of course it ends with Dawn taking Edith and leaving, but Dawn and Edie both die. And it's interesting that even though now that she's more of an adult, she can sort of look at this story and from both sides and see that they were both a little extreme in their measures. It's interesting because you also had the perspective that, or my impression was when she was littler, she identified more with Edie than her own mom. But overall, it's just an interesting story and an interesting way to tell it, I'd say. I liked it. And I like the idea that Edith, and Edith even brings this up, that she mentions, I didn't think this was all weird when I was a kid, and it also brings to mind just how much of life is categorically not all one way. Like, it categorically will be different for every person. There's no one path. And there's probably so much stuff that has happened in your life, where especially when you were a kid, where you just went, that's just how that is. It's like, experiences are not so solid. They're much more liquid than that, from person to person, and even from one person as they get older. It definitely does feel like there is, this game is so dense with rhetoric that you could play like many more times and catch new things every time, especially with, for the context now that you know how Edith's story ends, the fact that you're reading this through Edith's child's eyes, and the fact that you know that Edith is pregnant throughout, etc. And once you, because for the first like episode and a half, I didn't really get, not that I didn't get, but I was still learning about Dawn and Edie. I felt like I didn't know, I didn't have a full picture of that conflict, and obviously I still don't have a full picture because we didn't see the whole thing, but I feel like now going back through it, every time I mentioned Dawn and Edie, I would like perk up and go, oh, okay, I understand where this is leading up, like what the intention was behind this, mentioning that Edie did this way, or Dawn did this the other way, etc. So it definitely feels like the kind of game that is written with replaying in mind. And to that point, the replay a story option is now available. Select Edith from the beginning. So what happens if I just hit play now? Does it start over from the beginning also? What remains of Edith Finch? Did it do this the first time? Have I forgotten what it did in episode 1? Only 3 episodes ago? Okay, I must have done. I don't remember playing the music before. Oh, cool, you can like pick which story to replay. Oh, so does the gray tell you which one came next? Or is it just telling you that they're like tethered together, I guess? Oh, it only does that with Dawn and Edie. They show each other when you select them. Let's go back to Molly's story. It's gonna be a shark. I also noticing that everyone seems to have like freckles on their arms. I wonder if that was emblematic of some kind of persistent illness between everyone. Well, that freckles on your arms means you're ill. I thought it was an interesting detail that almost everyone seems to have it. I'm just gonna be a shark in the snow because this is my default state. Okay. Here I am, just chilling. So yeah, it was a cool game, just a cool experience to walk through generally also, and visually, like all the different worlds you go to. It was a good time. Happy with it. Perhaps, I actually almost feel that, I guess you want to have enough time wandering in the house that you feel you've explored the house, not just that the house has only been a framing device. Although I did feel like I enjoyed the flashbacks a lot more, and I almost wish there were they were like a little closer together. Not that it was like 20 minutes in between them or anything, it was like 5, but there was a slightly weird disparity between the amount of information coming at you in the flashbacks versus the house. The house was like a much more slower pace, which was definitely intentional to let you like digest the previous one, but it meant that I was just like, it was like whiplash. I was like, oh, okay. I'm processing the information, I'm wondering, I'm thinking about the family, I'm wondering what the implications of this are, and then we get into the next flashback and I'd be like, wah! And like barely able to keep up and hang on. But that was really a minor issue, I would have said. Overall, I think this game was very solidly done, and I enjoyed it. Yay! Interesting, for sure interesting. If nothing else, this game is an interesting experience, but I also think a rather good one. And with that, done! Our playthrough order now goes Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, Okami, Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair, and Ninja Gaiden. We're starting Ninja Gaiden, I'm very excited. This game I've been wanting to replay for a while. And I got an excuse when I got to pick it as a wild card, hee. Actually, I say replay, I'm not sure I ever played Ninja Gaiden 1. I think the one I played a bunch when I was a kid was Ninja Gaiden 2. But it's Ninja Gaiden, I'll pick it up, I'll work through it, I'll figure it out. Not that I ever beat Ninja Gaiden 2 either, but hey, we'll figure it out. I'm pretty pumped about starting that, because I've been in the mood for just some classic platform and action for some time. No offense, lovely story games, I've been playing a lot of lovely story games, like, I need something where I can just fill my mind with adrenaline and nothing else. I need a bit of both in my life, I think. This shark is very cute. They're a lot less scary when they're not in the water. I mean, I get this one is dying. It's a magic shark, it'll be fine. And once one of those 4 games is done, I guess it'll probably be Ninja Gaiden, because that's only going to be like 4 or 5 episodes, kind of like this was. We'll be starting the Dark Pictures anthology Man of Medan, which is a mouthful of a title. They usually just call it the logo just says Dark Pictures Man of Medan. So I guess it's like Ace Attorney. It's like, technically the second game is called Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All, but most people just call it Justice for All, and I would usually just call it Ace Attorney, Justice for All. This game has like 3 subtitles. But yes, the Dark Pictures Anthology Man of Medan, which is also not terribly long, but I've been told you're meant to do it over multiple playthroughs. It's a horror game. That's more or less all I know about it. I think some people have said that the writing is funny and awkward and strange. I think there's an air of mystery around the whole thing. You're on a boat? I don't know much more. We shall see. It's exciting. It's quite rare that we actually do like a full-length horror game playthrough on the channel. I do shorter horror games here and there, and earlier in the channel I did like a few slightly longer form or long Let's Plays like SCP Containment Breach and that, and some of the Slender games. Well, that's a little different though, because they're meant to be played sort of arcadely. They're less like full games you're meant to like sit down and play in a playthrough start to finish, if that makes sense. Arcadey is the way I would put it. Slender, you don't like save a file or anything. And SCP Containment Breach, you could beat in one sitting, and there's an option for that, I think. There's an option to disable saving. Or does it just make it you only quick save? Anyway, it doesn't matter. For all I'm talking about that now. But all that stuff can go off the screen now, because that is the situation as it stands. And the last note on this game, it's got a very personal touch to it. It does feel like, even if this family isn't necessarily based particularly on any one of the developers' real families, it feels like the idea of the story of a family being told this way is personal to one or more of the developers, I would say. Perhaps it's not polite to assume, but perhaps the person this game is made in memory of is what they had in mind when they were designing the story structure of like going through the family tree as viewed via an anthology of smaller fantastical stories. Very cool, and that is all from me for now, my friends. Thank you very much for coming out to this video and this playthrough. Hopefully I'll see you around. Admiral's gonna be out of here now. Peace! The shark says, see you later. And it says it in a dignified and shark-like manner because all sharks are sophisticated erudites. Or didn't you know? And I also say goodbye. From the bottom of my heart and from the top, I say goodbye from several portions of my heart. Be seeing you down the line, friends. This video is now at an end, so is this playthrough. Yeah, I agree, sure. Utterly crazy, blatantly wrong. Okay, Dr. Monokuma's practice? Well, nice to meet you all. The beach versions of you, that is. That old uptight Hajime you knew was gone. Now it's time for the fun, relaxed summer.